Alright, if you're a professional HGV driver, you know the drill. That daily walk-around check is the very first and most important task of your day. Now I know it can feel a bit routine, but getting this right is literally the difference between a safe journey and a serious problem. So in this explainer, we're going to walk through the official DVSA guide step by step. Because let's be real, this isn't just best practice, it is the law.
And let's not beat around the bush about how serious this is. The official word from the government is pretty stark. You could be looking at an unlimited fine and even a prison sentence. Yeah, seriously. So this check, it's way more than just dodging a ticket. We're talking about your safety, the safety of everyone else on the road, and frankly, your entire career. So with that in mind, let's get into it.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start with your legal responsibilities, then we'll do the in-cab checks, the big external walk-around, a deep dive on tires and brakes, talk trailer and load security, and finally, wrap up with how to record everything properly.
First things first, and this is the absolute bedrock of everything we're about to talk about. Before you even think about turning that key, you need to understand one thing. The legal responsibility for that vehicle's safety, it's on you. Not your boss, not the mechanic, it is all on you. Every single trip you take starts right there.
And if you're thinking, they'll never stop me, think again. The DVSA and the police can pull you over for a spot check whenever they want. And believe me, they will hit you with penalties if things aren't right. So that daily check we're talking about, that's your best and really your only line of defense.
Right, let's get down to the actual inspection. We're starting where you spend all your time. Inside the cab. Think of it as your command center. Everything in here has to be 100% before you even think about rolling out.
First up, visibility. You got to be able to see, right? So quick glance at your mirrors. Are they clean, secure, pointed where they need to be? Got cameras? Make sure the picture is actually clear. Then, have a good look at your windscreen. Any nasty cracks or chips right where you're looking? That's a no-go. And last but not least, just give the wipers and washers a quick spray. You've got to know they'll work when that sudden downpour hits.
Okay, next up, your controls. Turn the ignition on and keep your eyes on the dashboard. You want to see all those warning lights pop on, and then, just as importantly, pop right back off. If anything stays on, especially something crucial like the ABS or EBS light, that's a major red flag. Stop right there. Next, get a feel for the steering wheel. Does it feel loose? Too much play? Then check your air gauges. You need to see that pressure building up properly, and the brake pedal should feel solid, not spongy. And for the finale, a quick beep of the horn.
Right, cab's done. Time to hop out and start the real walk-around. We're doing a full 360-degree inspection of the whole rig. The key here is to have a system, a routine, so you do it the same way every time and don't miss a single thing.
So as you start walking around, you're just constantly scanning. Think of it like a checklist in your head. Are the lights and indicators all good? Clean and working? Any suspicious puddles or drips on the ground underneath? Fuel? Oil? Give the bodywork and wings a quick check. Everything secure? Battery box locked up tight? And hey, can people actually see your number plate and reflectors? It all seems small, but every single bit matters.
Okay, here's something that's super important for newer trucks. First, your AdBlue level. You've got to make sure you've got enough of that diesel exhaust fluid. And this next one is absolutely critical, especially on electric or hybrid vehicles, the high voltage emergency cutoff. You have to know where it is and how it works. That's a major safety feature you can't ignore.
Okay, now we're getting to what is without a doubt one of the most critical parts of this whole check, your tires, wheels, and brakes. Let's be blunt. If something goes wrong here, the results can be catastrophic. So for this next bit, you need to pay really close attention. So here's the stuff you absolutely cannot miss. Your tread depth has to be at least 1 millimeter. No excuses. Scan the sidewalls for any deep cuts. If you see any cord showing through, anywhere on that tire, it's illegal. Park it. Check those wheel nuts are tight. If you've got indicators, make sure they're all pointing the right way. And one last thing that's super easy to miss, check for rocks or any other junk wedged between your twin wheels. That's a surprisingly common cause of fires, so get it out of there. And here's a perfect example of what we're talking about. See that tire on the left? That's what worn-out tread looks like, way below the legal limit. And the one on the right? That's exposed cord. If you see either of these, your journey stops right there. That vehicle is unsafe until the tire is replaced, period.
And here are two more absolute deal breakers. That bulge on the side of the tire on the left, that's a sign of internal damage. It's basically a ticking time bomb waiting to blow out. And on the right, you've got tread separation. Just no. If you spot either of these things, that tire is done. It needs to be replaced immediately.
So while you're crouched down looking at the tires, it's the perfect time to check your brake lines and couplings. You're looking for any damage, any leaks, listen for any hissing sounds that could be an air leak, and give the trailer's parking brake a check too. Make sure it actually works and holds.
All right, let's talk about hooking up. The connection between your truck and your trailer is obviously vital. An insecure trailer or a shifting load isn't just a problem for you, it's a massive danger for every single person sharing the road with you.
So there are 3 things you have to physically check. Don't just glance at it, check it. 1 is that trailer locked solidly into the 5th wheel. Give it a tug test. 2 is the safety lock, the secondary device, in place and engaged. And 3 are your electrical lines, your SUSIs, all connected properly and not dragging on the ground or getting damaged.
And this applies to what's inside the trailer too. The load. It is 100% your responsibility to make sure that load is secure and isn't going to go anywhere. And listen, if you look at it and you're not happy, if you have even the slightest doubt, you do not move that truck. You have every right to stop and get someone who knows what they're doing to check it or fix it.
Okay, so you've done the full walk around, the physical check is done. But wait, you're not finished yet. The last step is just as important. You have to make a legal record of what you found. And I'll say it again, this is not optional. This all gets logged on a defect report form. It's pretty simple. Vehicle registration, the date, and the details of any problems you found during your check. Your company will probably have their own system, maybe an app or a paper form, but it all serves the same legal purpose.
Now, listen up, because this is a big one that catches a lot of drivers out. Even if your truck is perfect, absolutely spotless with 0 issues, you still have to fill out the form. You just write down nil defects. Why? Because that form is your legal proof that you actually did the check. It covers you.
So, what if something goes wrong when you're already out on the road? The rules are simple and clear. First, find somewhere safe to pull over, as soon as you can. Then, figure out what the problem is and report it. And if it's a serious, dangerous defect, you are not going anywhere until it is fixed. End of story.
So it all comes down to this one question. A question you have to be able to answer with total confidence before you even start the engine. This whole process, it's your professional duty. It's what keeps you safe, it's what keeps other people safe, and it's what keeps you legal. So before you go, ask yourself, is my vehicle safe for the road? Because ultimately, that responsibility is all yours.